Something destructive comes our way, inevitably, unstoppable, inflexible, life-threatening. By that, I don't mean migration, but something else that destroyed all high cultures in regular intervals. However, this is inevitably linked to migration. Nobody will tell you what you will learn in this video, because the political elitist class is doing everything that you don't realize this. You have been betrayed, sold, deceived, and manipulated without you ever having noticed. So you do not recognize what is coming towards us. Are aerosols or sprayed, with which several goals are pursued. These are popularly called chemtrails. But before you switch off at this point, you should rather deal with facts. Because who knows does not have to believe, but realizes the truth, the greater picture. For example, former CIA chief Brennan speaks to the Council of Foreign Relations about aerosol injections in the atmosphere.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other geoengineering initiatives. Now, I could go on and on and on and on about the things that fascinate me, but rather than talk about them, I thought I'd stop here.
Even more explicit about the impact will be former FBI boss Ted Gunderson.
The death dumps, otherwise known as chemical trails, are being dropped and sprayed throughout the United States, in England, Scotland, Ireland, Northern Europe, and I have personally seen them not only in the United States but in Mexico and Canada. Birds are dying around the world. Fish are dying by the hundreds of thousands around the world. This is genocide. This is poison. This is murder by the United Nations. This element within our society that's doing this must be stopped. I happen to know of two of the locations where the airplanes are that dump this crap on us. 4 of the planes are out of the Air National Guard, Lincoln, Nebraska, and the other planes are out of Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I personally have observed the planes that were standing still in Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, at the Air National Guard. They have no markings on them. They're huge, bomber-like airplanes. They have no markings. This is a crime against humanity, a crime against America, a crime against the citizens of this great country. They must be stopped. What is wrong with Congress? This has an effect on their population and their people and their friends and their relatives and themselves. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with the pilots who are flying these airplanes? They're dumping this crap, this poison, on their own families. Somebody has to do something about it. Somebody in Congress has to step forward and stop it now. And thank you. I'm Ted Gunderson.
People are being sacrificed as a migration. But why? What is the reason? Nobody knows except the highest circles of the elite. The impact of what is coming will be sold to you as climate change or global warming. The truth is, the Nemesis solar system is here. It is known by many names, such as Planet X, Hercubolus, Wormwood or Nibiru, where Nibiru is just one of several planets in the system. The elite does well know about it, through the Bible but also through simulations. They know which areas of the Earth are affected, because land masses will sink to the sea, others will rise from the sea. According to the Bible, 2/3 of the Earth is affected. Particularly interesting about migration is that the Bible speaks of Jerusalem being safe, the Middle East. Exactly from this region we recognize the artificially created refugee crisis. Realizing that Europe will perish, the elite are trying to remove people from viable areas and are not shying away from destroying Europe as it perishes anyway. It is therefore about forming the surviving society already, now. So terrorists and criminals are sent to Europe, truly a slave trade. The aerosol injections counteract the visibility of the planets and the UV radiation, as Nikola Tesla once described when talking about a parasol. So you do not notice it. The elite is trying to create chaos, in case to create order in the survivable areas of the Earth.